Call the December Town of Black Mountain meeting to order. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing as we have Reverend Mike Siemens to give the invocation.
Very good. Over here?
Yes, over at the podium there. He is from the Bee Tree Christian Church in Swananoa.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Okay, will you bow your heads with me? God of all creation, we come before you to welcome you to this meeting. We give you respect and acknowledge you as creator and provider. It's you who are omnipresent. You're everywhere, and we feel your presence. It's you who are omnipotent. You are all-powerful. It's you who are omniscient. Father, you know everything. You've raised up these servant leaders to make a difference for the town of Black Mountain. God, as we begin this meeting, as they begin this meeting, I ask that you would guide their thoughts and their actions so they might have a successful time together. God, give them wisdom. Your word says that if we humble ourselves, that in due time you will lift us up. So, Father, I pray that you will pour your favor out on them as they serve the people. And now, Father, we pray these things in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend. First, I'd like to, it's the holiday season, so we certainly wish everyone a merry holiday season and a Merry Christmas. I do want to bring up a couple of things that were not very joyous for this time of year. That was we have two aldermen here that lost some in-laws. Carlos Showers and his family lost his mother-in-law, and Larry Harris lost his father-in-law. So your prayers and thoughts will be with them.
Thank you,
during
Mayor.
this time.
Thank you.
We will be having tonight the induction of the newly elected members of the board, but before that happens, we conduct some business, especially the old business, and then we will get to the inductions. So at this point, we've got citizen comment. We have Marilyn Sabansky, wishes to speak about recycling, holiday recycling.
Good evening, everyone. In this special and festive season comes our popular holiday recycling event. Once again, it'll be the first Saturday of the year, so in 2016, that means January 2nd. And as before, we'll be at Hopi's parking lot on Highway 70. It's a great opportunity for taking all of your packing and shipping material that comes in during this time of year, or in case you've stashed it just awaiting this event, and letting us recycle it or make it available for others to reuse. And as you might guess, I'm speaking of packing styrofoam, bubble wrap, air pillows, brown packing paper, and other materials that provide cushioning and protection in boxes. We ask they come clean, dry, with tape removed. No upholstery or insulation foam. We also do not take food service styrofoam, but I've got good news. Now you can take those items to the Publix on Hendersonville Road. They have 2 bins outside their doors for your foam cups and paper plates and that kind of thing, and take-out boxes. And if by any chance the bins are full, please take them to the customer service inside. So that's a great resource we now have. Please bag all your packaging items separately. It doesn't matter what kind of bag you bring it in, just as long as it holds the material securely. We don't want to be chasing things in wind all over the parking lot. That's quite a chore. If you have business or excessively large amounts of material, please call us in advance for a little additional information. And if you have need of such materials, whether you're an artist or you just, for whatever reason, You're welcome to come and get them on a first-come, first-served basis. We are all volunteers, and we don't make any income from this material. And our styrofoam gets trucked several counties away. So we do graciously ask for a $1 donation per large bag to help us cover our transportation costs. We also take Christmas light strands at this event. If the bulbs are large, please remove them first. And we may be taking some additional media type items. We're still working on that. So watch for our flyers posted all about town and the newspaper notice for updated information. If you have any questions, please call us at our new number, 713-6020. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn. Appreciate it. Next, Phil Bassesi.
I'm Phil Bassesi, 15 Highview Drive. I'm here to speak tonight about the concept that since Black Mountain has declared itself its intention to become a city of peace and has recognized the International Day of Peace as a day of celebration in this town, that we now need someone like my organization, WNC for Peace, to help with all that paperwork of filling out papers for the UN, saying we are who we say we are, that we have done certain kind things through the year, like maybe we've done something like improved our crosswalks or put yield signs in or something like that, or anything that we have done, or we've recognized Armistice Day rather than Veterans Day, or just anything towards peace or towards social justice gives us brownie points in the broader community. So I know that I, as one individual, can find a champion and get proclamations passed. But I think I need a team of people to keep me from being just a ranting somebody up here trying to get something done, but actually to have a commission working within the city or the town. And that I think a commission can charter for the purpose of promoting peace and justice, can guide the city towards becoming internationally recognized. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Appreciate it. All right, next we've got communications from the boards. Greenway Commission, Julie White.
Good evening. I just wanted to share with you all, the Greenway Commission had a booth at the last tailgate market, the holiday market. And so we sold socks, thanks to Parker Legwear, and we had our display up, and we had a number of people come by, and people often ask, what can we do to help the Greenway Commission? And we were like, well, you can give us money, or more importantly, you can talk to the Board of Aldermen and tell them how much you appreciate what they are doing to support Greenways. And so we decided to make that easier, and we laid out a card, and we had people sign it. We would say, you know, will you please sign this, because we want our Board of Aldermen and our mayor to know it's not just those of us on the Greenway Commission who support Greenways. So we didn't catch everybody that came by because we were busy selling socks and talking to them, but we did have a good number of people come by and to sign this thank you note to you all guys. And it says, thank you for supporting Black Mountain Greenway in 2015. So I wanted to come and share this with you, and I have a copy of this for each one of you. And it's from our heart in the Greenway Commission and many of the citizens of this town. We want to thank you for the support you show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Appreciate all the good work that you do. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, next we got Building, Planning, and Zoning Department, semi-annual report. Josh Harold.
So as the mayor just said, this is going to be the report for this half of the year, although some of the numbers as I go through will be for the entire year of 2015 up to this point. And it'll be a little bit different than I've done it in the past, and I'll explain as I go through if I need to, and if you've got questions, feel free to stop me. So for permits issued, you can see the trend is going up. And the green is 2015, up a little bit from 2013 to 14, and then 15. Single-family residential permits are up just a small amount, and commercial is up a small amount. Now, for the category that says all permits, what that would encompass would be everything from renovations to HVAC to water and sewer, things of that nature. So this is just a good snapshot of how many permits we've issued. So your permit fees for this year, 2015, we're at about $215,000 thus far this year, which has also increased from previous years. Single family, and we've got more commercial this year than we've had in the past 2 or 3 years. The permit valuations down just a little, not really too noticeable from the previous year for single family, but you can see commercial is up quite a bit from 2014, and then we didn't have anything measurable in 2013. Our building inspections are also increasing. As you can see, almost 2,500 building inspections done this year, which is a lot of building inspections. And keep Dan very busy.
Dan's tired. Hey, Josh, go back to the one before that was evaluation.
Sure.
So in 2015, permits, evaluation of.
That's the estimated. That's the estimated cost of what the value of the project is.
So that's going to be commercial or residential real estate?
Correct.
That's what that is?
Correct.
So the total, it's not broken out, would it be mainly residential?
Correct.
So new residential projects?
Yes.
10 million?
Just short of it. Yes.
And then commercial 6, so we got an overall 16.
Correct.
Okay.
So a lot of that would be the new Goodwill location going in. So it's a big project for commercial. Zoning permits.
So let me back up and mention one thing.
Sure.
We don't have to go back, but then of half of the valuation, not half of it's getting added to any base or anything because the commercial is nonprofit organization.
I think Goodwill is taxable.
You think?
Yeah, I think Goodwill is a for-profit industry. I mean, that's what they do, but they are actually not a not-for-profit.
Okay, that's good. Well, that's good.
Now, I will say though, Josh, you correct me if I'm wrong. If some of those permit fees, for example, for the Highland Farms expansion, that would not go. Those would have. Highland Farms is not for profit.
Yeah,
So
doesn't exactly.
So exactly. So when you
tax
say,
base,
when you say you have $16 million of valuation, not all of that is going to be added onto the books at some point in the future for tax purposes.
So for zoning permits, everything zoning wise everything good is up, I'll say. Zoning permits, of course, are up. Inspections are up as well. Complaints are about even, and our notice of violations are considerably down. What we do with those now, we send out kind of a warning letter, so it's not really considered a notice violation, and that seems to be getting people's attention enough to where they're correcting the issue, and we don't have to issue the violation notice. So, privilege licenses and business registrations. So, I know you're all familiar with we lost a lot of that revenue that we were getting from privilege licenses. This graph just shows the new licenses that were coming in on these 3 years. And if you remember correctly, the privilege license we could bill outside of our jurisdiction. So if they were just doing business here, for whatever reason, we could bill them a privilege license. Now they have to be an actual business that's inside the city limits. And we can no longer call them privilege licenses, we now call them business registrations. So obviously they're down from what they were in the past because we can't bill outside of our jurisdiction. So that's affected us some. I think we had projected about $8,000 in revenue, and we're at about $7,000 now. But it looks like we should come in pretty close to that $8,000 figure. So this is what I was just speaking of, the fees. As you can see, they're excuse me, they're down quite a bit due to the reason I just mentioned. But we are going to be coming in where we budgeted. So some quick staff happenings, annual conferences we go to every year. The watershed plan meetings and the bike plan meetings, of course, will come off this. We're wrapping those up as we speak. Hopefully to be done, I would say, by the beginning of February on both of those. Planning board's not been too busy with text amendments. They have got 3 through, but there's been quite a few more that they've discussed that you may see coming in the future. But they are taking their time deliberating those text amendments right now, so it may be a little while before you see any more. Planning studies we're doing, the bike plan that I mentioned, 75% complete. The watershed restoration plan, 75% complete. Our stormwater mapping is about 65% complete. Land of Sky is doing a lot of that for us out in the field, mapping. They're currently mapping the outfalls now. As all the leaves and the brush is down, they're able to see where these outfalls are. And our future land use plan, probably going to begin that hopefully in January or February, and this is part of our 2014 comp plan update, something that we should be doing. So we will be engaging in this and getting this complete, which will be real important for us as we go forward.
Would it maybe be helpful just to, in 2 or 3 sentences, explain what that is?
Sure. What that will do, we'll kind of look at the town as a whole, specific areas, and kind of predict, so to speak, what we might want to see go there in the future. It's usually part of a comp plan update. It just didn't get included when that one was done in 2014. But it'll be a valuable tool when we go to do things like rezonings. We can say, hey, we projected this area to be business. We probably don't want to rezone it to residential. Things like that. So this has been a project that we are still waiting to start. We've been doing a lot of work on it. It's our Greenway project. We got funding through surface transportation money, which is Federal Highway Administration money, which has caused some slowdowns just with getting approvals through Federal Highway Administration. I don't really want to say that we hope to begin soon, but hopefully in January that we'll start this. We've been going back and forth with DOT trying to get the contract approved, and I think we've got everything that we need now to get the sign off to get funding released. So once that starts, we'll advertise, get an engineer on board to do the work, and push forward. When the 2014 comp plan was finished, there were about 101 tasks that were noted in that comp plan. We've done completed 17 of those tasks to date. A lot of the tasks are ongoing, but some of the most notable ones are the minimum housing code that we updated, the strategic energy plan that we updated, the Tomahawk Dam work that we did with cutting down the trees, and we updated our historic district guidelines. Zoning Board of Adjustment's been relatively, they haven't been busy much. We've had 3 meetings, they've done 2 appeals and a special use permit. So it's not a bad thing if they're not meeting. It's actually a good thing. So some quick facts for Black Mountain. the American Community Survey just updated some numbers, just came out early December. So just wanted to hit some highlights. I think Erica noted some of this in her presentation last month, especially about the median age. But 41% of households here earn less than $35,000 annually. 12.6% of the people are below the poverty level, and our median age is 50 now, which is continuing to increase. This is just a graph that shows back in 2010, our median age was 41 and a half, if I can read that number correctly. So in 5 years or so, we're up to 50 now instead of 41 and a half. And this is happening across the country, so it's not just Black Mountain. Population's increased a little. If we continue to increase what we have, right now we're about 8145. By the next census in 2020, we should be at about 8,500 or so, and that would be an 8.5% increase. So switching gears now to our website. I know you can't see this, but I just wanted to use it as an example. Anybody now that can access our website can go in, and this is our strategic energy and water management plan. You are able to click on links to better understand how you, as a citizen or business owner, can save energy at your location. So if you go down, you can click on windows or heating and cooling, and it'll direct you to another website that'll give you information on how you can save energy. This was something that was one of the projects that was completed by our town intern over the summer. So just to show you a little bit of this strategic energy plan and what we're recording now with this. This is a Public Works electrical usage. Jamie did a lot of energy efficient work back in June down at the Public Works building, replaced lights, things of that nature, turned down the temperature on the hot water heater. And you can see, I think you'll get a better picture next year, of snapshot in 2016 of how much it's going to be decreasing as far as their electrical usage. But you can see it's come down a little bit since 2014. And this is the Carver Center. They have, with the upgrades that have been done there, I know the windows are being installed now. I don't know that they're finished, but the insulation in the roof has helped a considerable amount in electric usage and gas, which you'll see in a minute, but it is down a considerable amount in electrical usage from 2014. And this is their gas usage, which has almost been cut in half. Another thing that our intern did this summer was a street tree survey. In our 2014 comp plan update, it talks about looking at our downtown and working with our urban forestry commission and maybe taking a look at our streetscape. So what Max Ladarzak, what he did for us, he informally surveyed all our merchants, well 90% of them. From what came out of the survey, they all wanted a more attractive and welcoming environment. They thought it would help boost pedestrian traffic and business activity. And they wanted it to be more cohesive, consistent, and attractive. And I think you've got this, it's a short report that he did for us in your packet in front of you, but this is just a map of downtown, so he's kind of color-coded where the trees are, what type of tree they are, got some more information in there about recommended tree species that he looked at for other locations. I have given this to the Urban Forestry Commission, so they have seen it, and I think they are going to take a look at it when they start replacing some trees, at least on Broadway in the future. And that's it. Questions?
Very good. Any questions? Thank you, Josh. Appreciate the good work. All right, Matt, if you can lead us through the consent agenda, please.
Yes, sir. You've just got a couple of things. You've got the adoption of minutes from your agenda workshop. in November, and a request to appoint Tim Rayburn to serve on the Firemen's Local Relief Fund Board until January of 2018. That recommendation comes from the existing members of the Firemen's Relief Fund Board. And that's all that you have.
Okay, do I hear a motion for adoption of the consent agenda?
So moved.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes. So now we get to the oath of office and installation of the alderman-elect.
Yes, sir. And I think the way we'll do this, we've got Stephen Cogburn's here to swear everybody in, and I think how can we do this? You weren't here last year.
Yeah.
Well, you, Angela. I think if everybody will just step down to the front, and we can have you swear them in, and we'll start there. If you three will just step down.
You want to do these collectively, just all together?
No, I think we'll do them one at a time. Yes, sir.
I thought so. First of all, thank you very much for asking me to do this. It's an honor to be here, swear you folks in. For re-election, I understand. So, very good. Margaret Tuttle, are you ready? Do you have anyone that you want to come up here and be with you while you're doing your oath?
Sure, I think my husband is here, so. That's gonna work.
Yeah.
He did show up.
Thank you. If you will raise your right hand, please. I, Margaret H. Tuttle,
I, Margaret H. Tuttle,
do solemnly and sincerely affirm
do solemnly and sincerely affirm
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will in all respects
and that I will in all respects
observe the provisions of the Charter
observe the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances of the town of Black Mountain,
and ordinances of the town of Black Mountain,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of my office as Alderman of the town of Black Mountain, North Carolina.
of my office as of Alderman of the town of Black Mountain, North Carolina.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I need to get you to sign.
Okay.
There are 3 places that you'll need to sign here.
Is that right, Angela? We'll sign off
There's 3.
There's 3. Yeah, just sign off 3.
I'll get these finished up for you a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Who's my next? Let's see here, okay? Okay. I, Donald S. Collins,
I, Donald S. Collins,
do solemnly and sincerely affirm
do solemnly and sincerely affirm
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will in all respects
and I will in all respects
observe the provisions of the Charter
observe the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances of the town of Black Mountain,
and ordinances of the town of Black Mountain,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of my office as Alderman
of my office as Alderman
of the town of Black Mountain, North Carolina.
of the town of Black Mountain, North Carolina.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. I've got to get you to sign this. can get writer's cramp 3 times.
Just notice that my wife is coming up, which confirms that I did ask her permission first.
I can see why you got elected. Why?
That's right. Diplomatic.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I, Larry B. Harris,
I, Larry B. Harris,
do solemnly and sincerely affirm
do solemnly and sincerely affirm
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will in all respects
and that I will in all respects
observe the provisions of the Charter
observe the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances of the town of Black Mountain,
and ordinances of the town of Black Mountain,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of my office as Alderman
of my office as Alderman
of the town of Black Mountain, North Carolina.
of the town of Black Mountain, North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
Steve, if you wouldn't mind waiting.
We've got one more.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, next we will be doing both the vice mayor appointment and also the board appointments for the various agencies. When we do get these nominations and stuff, instead of a voice vote, I wish you would please raise your hand so that Angela can keep track of exactly what the vote tally is, please.
The only thing I ask, Mr. Mayor, is that we do and I know that you're planning on doing this, but when we do your appointment for vice mayor, that we have an oath for that. We've not, we need to do an oath because in the absence of, in your absence, whoever is the vice mayor, they take a different oath. And so instead of doing that at the time that it's needed, if we do it now, that person then is covered for the rest of the year.
You're anticipating something.
No, I'm just pointing out that if you were absent.
Just has a feeling.
All right, so it's for the vice mayor. We need to get a nomination from the floor for the,
It'd be my pleasure to nominate Ryan Stone.
okay. Do we have any other nominations? No more nominations? All right, all those in favor of Ryan Stone, please raise their hand. That's unanimous. So, very good. Congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
This is a particular honor for me since Ryan and I work together.
You've done this a time too.
That is true. I guess we need to write your name in. Fill in that blank.
Absolutely. Tried to do a little more legibly earlier than we could tell.
You'll raise your right hand, please. I, Matthew Ryan Stone,
I, Matthew Ryan Stone,
do solemnly and sincerely affirm
do solemnly and sincerely affirm
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North
and
Carolina,
the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will in all respects
and that I will in all respects
observe the provisions of the Charter
observe the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances of the town of Black Mountain,
and ordinances of the town of Black Mountain,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of my office as Vice Mayor
of my office as Vice Mayor
of the town of Black Mountain, North
of
Carolina.
the town of Black Mountain, North Carolina.
Okay.
All right, now we will get to the board appointments. First, there's 7 here. The first one will be the member for the Black Mountain Center for the Arts. I have a nomination.
Nominate Matt Settlemire for the member.
Any other nominations? Not, all in favor?
You want to raise your hand?
Raise your hand, sorry, just to make sure. Thank you. All right, we need an alternate member.
Nominate Maggie Tuttle.
Okay. Seeing, hearing no more. All in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Okay. Next, we go to the Black Mountain Swannanoa Chamber of Commerce Executive Board.
Nominate Carlos Showers as the member.
All in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Alternate.
I'd like to nominate Maggie Tuttle.
All in favor? Unanimous. Secondly, we go to the Committee for Entrepreneurial Certification. This is a committee that has kind of fallen on some hard times here lately. Unfortunately, we haven't had much meetings. It doesn't mean that it's completely defunct. I talked with Ames about it. We're going to be trying to get this back up. Nomination for the Committee for Entrepreneurial Certification.
Nominate Mike Sobel as the member.
All right, all in favor? Okay, unanimous. And then the alternate nomination.
Ames Tron.
Okay, all in favor? Good. All right, that's taken care of. Now, Land of the Sky Council Board of Directors.
I'd like to nominate Larry Harris as the member.
Okay. All in favor? Unanimous. Alternate.
Ryan Stone.
Okay. All in favor? Unanimous there, okay. French Broad River MPO Board of Directors.
Nominate Ryan Stone.
And all in favor? Okay. Unanimous. Alternate.
Nominate Larry Harris.
Here's all in favor. Unanimous. Okay. Now, the MPO Technical Coordinating Committee.
Nominate Josh Harrell, the member.
Harold, okay. All in favor? Okay. And then the alternate.
Matt Settlemire.
Okay. All in favor? Completed. Town Square Steering Committee. We just have a member, we do not have an alternate on this one.
No,
We've gotten rid of that one.
I'm sorry, that one.
That was gone.
Yeah.
Okay, straighten out up a new one. Okay, the Metropolitan Sewer District Board.
I'd like to nominate John Collins.
Okay, and there is no alternate on this one either. All in favor? Unanimous there. The Asheville Regional Housing Consortium.
I'd like to nominate Josh Harrell.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, unanimous. And the alternate.
Nominate Matt Settlemire.
Again, all in favor? Unanimous. All right, that's got it taken care of. Next, we have some citizen comment, if they wish to comment on the new business that is to be discussed a little bit later. Seeing none, we'll move on into the new business. New business, Matt.
Yes, sir. You've got a request from the Beautification Committee regarding the pathway between Europa and the veranda to name that Hawatchin Walk. Dan, in honor of Dan and Tekla Hawatchin, they did the ironwork there, did some artwork along that, and did a lot of work on that pathway. And their request is that we name it in honor of them and name it the Hawatchin Walk.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Not, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Passed unanimously. Secondly,
And let me, I apologize, Mr. Mayor, but we do need to go back.
well, I was gonna do that right after this one.
Oh, for the adoption of the minute, of the meetings? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right. So then,
That was my mistake.
no, that's okay, just as long as we're getting there. Then secondly, you've got the approval of the Buncombe County agreement for the fire protection and ambulance and rescue services for East Buncombe District. Basically, Buncombe County has reduced the number of fire districts to 19. We, of course, the Black Mountain Fire Department, of course, serves a broader area than the town of Black Mountain. It serves the East Buncombe Fire District, and this expands the title of the district from a fire district to the fire protection and ambulance and rescue services. It doesn't change the way the service is provided to the residents of Black Mountain or the residents of the fire district. Here, it does give some flexibility in other districts, and it consolidates some districts and gives them some opportunities. In essence, though, for us, it doesn't change the way that we provide the service. But I think it gives and Ron, you'll correct me if I'm wrong here. It's going to give a consistent agreement with the districts throughout the county. I think just for ease of communication among the different entities. That's why this is put in place. It does acknowledge that we do provide EMS, that the county provides EMS services, that we provide rescue services and fire protection. Ron, is there anything else to add to that?
No, that's correct.
Okay.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Any discussion of it? Not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. We want to go back and do the adoption for the schedule for the Board of Aldermen for the agenda workshop and the regular session meetings for 2016. Would you have a copy of it at your desk? Anybody have any problems with any of those dates, or they wish to change them? If not, do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed. All right, that passes. Now we get to the public hearing. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, if you wanted to let Josh give a, okay.
Yeah, let Josh come. This is a public hearing to amend the text section regarding greenhouse accessory structures.
Just as you said, this is a text amendment to amend our greenhouse definition in our current land use code. There were some concerns brought to the planning board from some neighbors in a specific area in town about the way this definition read. I think the concern was that someone would be putting one of these structures on a vacant piece of property with no principal use on site. Could be someone renting the property from out of town, out of the area, and maybe neglect the property, not take care of the structure. I think that was one of the largest concerns. Currently in our definition of greenhouses as an accessory structure, it reads, if you bear with me, an accessory structure constructed of rigid materials for both the roof and sides are permitted under accessory structure guidelines in the land use code. Actually, I don't think yeah, that's correct. And then hoop structures with polyethylene or other soft, transparent, translucent, or opaque covering is not an accessory structure greenhouse under this definition. So the way it currently reads is, if it's a hoop structure, which to me I think is the same thing as a greenhouse, I think it's just maybe the material it's made out of or how it's constructed, is currently omitted from the accessory greenhouse definition, meaning that someone could put that up on basically any location. I think there was a concern at least brought up by Mayor Mike Sobel in our agenda meeting that, we talked little about agricultural exemptions. Currently in our agricultural section in our land use code, it does discuss greenhouses, and the only place greenhouses would be allowed as a principal use would be in heavy industrial, light industrial, and highway business districts. So by reading that, we don't give an exception for greenhouses in agricultural use. Basically, that's what that means. If it's in any of the other zoning districts, then it would be treated as an accessory building and have to have an accompanying principal building on site.
But I thought that was, when Steve were talking, unless I'm misunderstanding this.
No, I just said, I was just pointing out that there are some limitations on what we can do on restricting bona fide agricultural uses, and our ordinance doesn't specifically address that at this point, apparently. I just didn't have a chance. But there's a piece there that probably needs to be looked at.
Yeah, because if someone has some land and doesn't have a house on it, no matter where it is, or a principal residence, and they want to use it strictly for agricultural use, that is, they want to grow the plants there and then plant them on site. I think that needs to be.
If it was not located in one of those three districts, right? If you change this, you would not be able to do that. If they put up a hoop house, if they put up a regular greenhouse, they couldn't do it anyway, according to what our definition says.
What if they were just growing corn on a vacant lot?
That wouldn't be.
That'd be considered an agricultural use that would not be limited by the land use code. But this is about the structure, right? But I'm saying if you were to plant a garden, if I have a house and I have a vacant lot next to mine, and I say, well, I'm going to plant my garden on the vacant lot, but I don't use any hoop houses or greenhouses, I don't need a principal structure for that.
No.
Okay. But if I wanted to put up a greenhouse or a hoop house with this new, without having this exemption, then I'd have to have a principal structure on that lot. That's the difference, right?
If it's a hoop house, yes. If it's a greenhouse, then currently you have to have a principal use unless you are in one of those three districts.
You could not have put a greenhouse up prior to a year ago on a lot without a principal residence on it.
If it was a hoop structure, then yes, you could.
No, not hoop.
Greenhouse,
not hoop.
no.
I didn't say
Correct.
I didn't say hoop. I said greenhouse.
Correct.
Because greenhouses were restricted.
To those three districts.
Right.
Yes.
And now the difference will be that hoop houses will also be restricted because we'll define them the same way as greenhouses.
It's a greenhouse.
Okay.
Well, I don't know anybody right now that is objecting to it, but I could see down the road where there could be some issues with that.
I think on the opposite side, I think the objections for us came from the opposite side of that. Yeah. People using hoop houses on vacant lots.
Okay. Any other questions of Josh? Okay. If not, I need to hear a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Anyone wish to speak to this change? Seeing none, we need to close the public hearing. We have a motion.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Also, too, we need to adopt ordinance, the motion to adopt the ordinance 01518.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous. We also need to adopt a statement of consistency. Do I get a motion?
So moved.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Passes unanimously. Okay, last things will be communication from the staff. Town Attorney Ron Sneed.
I have nothing new for you this week.
Matt.
Nothing new, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Anything from the board?
Mr. Mayor, thank you for mentioning the loss of my father-in-law, and like a lot of our residents here in the valley, he was not a resident of the valley, but certainly was cared for the area and had a summer home in Montreat for 50-plus years. So certainly loved Black Mountain and Montreat. But like a lot of our World War II heroes, another one has gone on, and it's a pretty moving thing to see those flag-draped coffins and say goodbye to another hero. So he was one indeed.
Anybody else wish to say anything? If not, have a Merry Christmas. We'll see you next year. Meeting adjourned.